The year is 1991, and the babysitter is dead.
Dishes are done, man.
Salute Your Shorts debuts on Nickelodeon.
It makes me wanna part! It's I hope we never part. Now get it right or pay the price.
Hair bands are still rocking on MTV, at least for now. And Wendy's debuts the all-new bacon mushroom melt.
Wendy's has a new cheeseburger with a quarter pound of fresh beef, 3 full strips of bacon with mushrooms and a delicious cheddar cheese sauce, all on a toasted Kaiser bun. Introducing Wendy's Bacon Mushroom Melt.
When you gotta have one, you gotta have one.
Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to Retro Pop Planet and welcome back front of my local Wendy's. And I thought I would do the video intro from here today because the weather is like 85 degrees in the very early part of March, which is very unusual. So this is one of those weird products. It's almost like the McDonald's McRib, which Wendy's has bought back on multiple occasions. From my research, it originally came out sometime in 1991 and then returned again in 1995 and then came out again in either like 98 or 99 and then again in the middle 2000s and then possibly 2008 or 2009, and I believe that's the last time we've seen it. So it's at least been 15 or 16 years since we've seen this product in the actual restaurant. However, they have several different versions of this type of thing that's come out over the years because they really love that cheese sauce. Over the years, they've really put that cheese sauce on pretty much anything. I mean, remember, you used to be able to get the side of potato with the cheese sauce. At one point, you were able to get the French fries with the cheese sauce. And now they seem to only bring out the cheese sauce with these burgers. I wanted to do the video from here because this is the local Wendy's that I grew up with. And I would have eaten here, of course, in 1991. In fact, this is the very first Wendy's, or actually the very first restaurant that we ever ate at when we first moved to Virginia. I remember we just walked across the street here, ate at the Wendy's, and then right here on this corner, it's been a barber shop for 30 plus years, but that originally was a Baskin Robbins. This Wendy's has been the one that I have frequented the most in my life. This Wendy's had the Super Bar. If you remember, the Super Bar actually it was basically a salad bar, but it also had Mexican food. You could actually make tacos and things like that. And this location also had fried chicken. And back in 1991, I used to love Wendy's fried chicken. So instead of getting this burger, I probably was eating the fried chicken. And also, let's be real, I'm not one to normally get a burger from Wendy's. Generally, I like anything that has the spicy chicken sandwich. Any variation of that spicy chicken sandwich is kind of my go-to when it comes to eating at Wendy's. So back in 1991, this was a very 1970s, early 80s Wendy's, you know, complete with the old wallpaper and the Formica counters and the Formica tabletops that had the old advertisements on it. I mean, this was your cut and dried classic Wendy's location. And then in 1995, when I was in college, I got a call from my parents and they let me know that the Wendy's had burned down. This location was actually closed for about a year or two as they were remodeling. And there was a lot of theories floated at the time that it actually might have been arson. It was never confirmed, but people generally thought that this place, they were basically using the insurance money to go to the more modern Wendy's style. Again, none of that was confirmed. That was pretty much just all hearsay and rumor. And then they upgraded again from the 90s version of Wendy's, which I didn't mind, to this more modern version, which I can't stand. I find that the tables and chairs to not be very comfortable. It's not a very inviting place. At least they took the televisions out of here. They had TVs for a while, which didn't really make a whole lot of sense. It was very sort of noisy. So the ingredients list for this burger are actually quite simple. So let's go inside and get the first part of our ingredients, and then we got to go across the street and go to the grocery store. If you're following along at home, you want to buy a Big Bacon Classic single plain with just the bacon. The burger was a quarter pounder. At the store, I need a Kaiser roll with a dusting of cornmeal, and these are my go-to restaurant style buns. I need more cheese, and these are perfect for hamburgers. Next, I'll grab a little can of mushrooms, stems and pieces. And then the cheese sauce, which I'm fairly certain comes in bags from the franchise and then is heated up in those metal warming bins. This should do the trick. At home, I first toast the buns. There's no point in measuring anything, but I'll warm up my cheese sauce in a saucepan and add the mushrooms. Again, I think they probably had 2 sets of warmers in the restaurant, one with the cheese sauce and the other with the cheese sauce that they added mushrooms to. Don't forget your buns like I almost did. I already checked to see if my order was correct before leaving Wendy's, but let me show you what's in the wrapper. If you haven't watched my channel before, I prefer to use ingredients from the actual restaurants. I deconstruct the food item and then reassemble using as close to accurate ingredients as possible. It's really the only way to say that you've recreated a flavor that you miss. The way this cheeseburger is described is 3 strips of bacon. And I ate the extra for good luck. And then your cheesy mushroom sauce. I've seen how little Wendy's actually gives you, so I added a little more to my burger. And that's it.
When Dave Thomas, the founder of Wendy's, suddenly has a craving for his big bacon mushroom melt, he'll drive any distance and face any obstacle to get one. Because it's a quarter pound of fresh beef, 3 strips of bacon, and mushrooms in a cheddar cheese sauce, all on a toasted Kaiser bun. Wendy's bacon mushroom melt.
When you gotta have one, you gotta have one.
Come in and try our bacon mushroom melt today, only at Wendy's.
Dave Thomas 90s era Wendy's is definitely my favorite. I love all the promotions they came out with. And if you're keeping score at home, this one is actually pretty easy to make. One of the things I try to do with this series is try to collect all the ingredients that are readily available at most grocery stores so you can try to recreate this at home. And I think we did pretty well. I wrapped it as I was setting up on my camera equipment to keep it warm. And most recently, as of February of 2026, they have a new one on the menu, which a friend of mine tried just last week. And he let me try the nacho sauce or the cheese sauce. And I will say it was very gritty, almost like it was made from powder, and it didn't really have much of a flavor at all. I think this nacho sauce is a little bit truer to the original and definitely has a much more pleasing flavor palette. But here it is all wrapped up. Let's go ahead and open it. Oh man, it's definitely had some time to chill in here. So you get that like cheese paper, which I really enjoy. But let's take a look at this sandwich. I mean, this one is really interesting. So let's go ahead and try it. It may be a messy burger, but boy, is that delicious. That is a phenomenal tasting burger. All right, guys, well, we're gonna end the video here. If you liked it, please make sure you give it a like. Leave me a comment. Let me know if there is a Wendy's, especially 90s era Wendy's, discontinued food item that you'd like me to bring back on this channel. I've done it several times in this discontinued food series and I'm having a blast with it. Hope you are as well. Please make sure you subscribe for all of the retro nonsense that I put out here on this channel. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.
When you gotta have one, you gotta have one.